Hi, Gina and Tom. Hi, everybody. Debbie Warner here. I'm so excited to be here for our September 2024 holiday release party. As you probably remember, I say that every holiday release that it's my favorite because it truly is. I love making Christmas cards and I love making shaker cards, and I made two tonight because my grandsons love them and I love making them. So, anyway, let's talk to you a little bit about my stamp set. It's called Here Comes Santa Claus, and there are four Santas. I would say the top two are more vintagey, kind of old fashioned, traditional, and the bottom two Santas are much more contemporary or modern. I hope there's a Santa for everybody's liking. My greetings are Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas, from Santa, perfect for tags, season's greetings, and ho 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 Merry Christmas. I do want to just talk a little bit about the ho 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 Merry Christmas. The dies were designed to cut them out separately, which is really cool because then you can mix and match them with some of the other stamps. But they do have cut lines around them. And so if you do want to use the same stamped image for ho 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 Merry Christmas, I would suggest cutting out the ho 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 first. I had better luck doing it that way because sometimes those cut lines want to kind of sneak up and then they get in the way. So, anyway, try that. Otherwise, just stamp it twice and you're going to be good to go. So, let's get started talking about my samples. I will go to my overhead shots and share with you my 8 cards and 3 tags.
On my first sample, I used watercolors on watercolor paper. My other papers are fresh asparagus and just a little bit of our metallic gold for the greeting. I used our embossing ink with gold embossing powder for Santa and the white embossing powder for Merry Christmas. I finished it off with some of our rainbow hearts in red. On this card, my cardstock colors are white and lucky clover. I used our diagonal stripe with red velvet ink to go ahead and create that oval. And the oval is from Master Layouts 9. I also used our amalgam ink and then alcohol markers to color in my Santa. I used our rainbow pearls and I used our snowflake embossing folder for the main white panel. On this card, my cardstock colors are red velvet, craft, white, and Christmas pine. I used our brand new snowy background stamp for the snowflakes, and I did use our embossing ink and white embossing powder for that. I colored my Santa in with alcohol markers after stamping him with amalgam ink. For dies, I used our stitched rectangle, which is out of Master Layouts 12. The trees are from Master Layout 6. And I also used our Swiss dot embossing folder for those trees. I just wanted to add a little dimension to them. On this shaker card, my cardstocks are red velvet, white, and fresh asparagus. I used our Holiday Flora embossing folder for the fresh asparagus panel. I used acetate, and I also used craft foam and used the die for the Santa head and cut that out of the craft foam. I saved that piece later. You'll see it, I popped up that same Santa, but that gave me the void so I could put the shaker bits in there. And I also wanted to say that I colored him with alcohol markers. So I had stamped him with amalgam ink. And then I used glitter and sequins to go ahead and give him just a few shaker bits. And then I used our rainbow pearls in red to finish this off. Merry Christmas was stamped in red velvet. This is a 5 by 5-inch square card. I used white cardstock and then I used our Holiday Flora embossing folder and swiped my fresh asparagus ink pad across that. I edged it with cherry red, and cherry red is the color that I used for the greeting. I colored him in with alcohol markers, so I had stamped him with amalgam ink. And I finish it off with just 3 of our rainbow pearls in red. On this shaker card, my cardstock colors are white in the navy, red velvet, and Christmas pine. I did use that snowy background once again with white embossing powder to create the snowflakes in back. My Santa is stamped in amalgam ink and colored in with Prisma colored pencils and some Gamsol. The presents or gifts that you see on the back of my panel are from on the inside birthday. I thought they went well with the presents the Santa was carrying. The greeting that you see is new tonight. It's really cool. Merry Christmas and shadow background. I finished it off with my bits being clear quartz sequins and some glitter. On this card, my cardstock colors are white ocean mist and red velvet. I created a wood grain panel, scoring that every 1/4 inch, and then I swiped across it with craft and then white pigment ink over the craft to get that look. My Santa is colored in Prismacolor pencils with some Gamsol. And the Merry Christmas is from the Ho 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 Merry Christmas. I just stacked it instead of putting it long ways. Finished it off with some twine and then 3 of our white hearts. On this card, my cardstocks are prickly pear, white, red hot, and fresh asparagus. That beautiful background is our new holly background by Gina. I used craft ink on my prickly pear card base for that. The greetings are in fresh asparagus and red hot. I did color that Santa in with my Prisma colored pencils, and I popped them up using that little piece of foam that I had left from making the previous shaker card. I used Master Layouts 8 for the 3 layering circles. And finally, 3 tags, because Debbie always makes tags. And I didn't use any of the Santas on these. The beautiful poinsettias that you see is a new layering stencil that is coming out this evening. But all the greetings you see are from the stamp set. I also used one of the snowflakes from our snowflake trio and used pearls on all of these with some twine.
I hope you enjoyed my samples. I had so much fun making them. You know, I love shaker cards, and so those 2 shaker cards are really a lot of fun for me. And I always like to share my favorite cards, and surprisingly, it's not a shaker card this time. It is this card. I love this Santa. He is my favorite of the 4. There's something about him I just feel close to, and so anyway, that's my favorite. I also want to mention that when I do my tags, I try to always do the backside too, so you know the backsides are done. And just a reminder that we do have on the inside Christmas that pairs well with all these cards, to have sentiments for the inside of your cards. So that's all I have for tonight. Thank you so much for being here. Just love our Gina K family. You guys are super awesome. I love interacting with you through social media, so feel free to reach out. Love you guys. Happy holidays a little early, and I will catch you next time. Bye-bye.